You don't just remember the argument, you rehearse the win. You replay the moment in your head, but cleaner, sharper. This time you say the perfect line. This time they freeze. This time you're calm, devastating, untouchable. And then you're lying in bed, jaw tight, heart racing, having a fight that isn't even happening. Today's shadow is fantasy arguments. Oh, imagine dominance, mental revenge loops. It's one of the most human, most embarrassing things we do, and nearly everyone does it. What this really is. Fantasy arguments aren't about communication. They're about power restoration, because real conflict is messy. In real conflict, you stumble over words, you feel small, you don't think fast enough, you get dismissive, you don't feel heard, you lose face. So your mind tries to fix the injury the only way it knows how. It creates a version of reality where you don't feel powerless. In your head, you get to be articulate, morally correct, emotionally controlled, superior, respected. It's not just a memory, it's a rewrite. How it shows up in real life. It looks like replaying a conversation for hours, days, practicing what you should have said, imagining them apologizing, imagining them being exposed, imagining yourself walking away while they realize what they lost. Sometimes you even rehearse with an audience in your head. You imagine other people watching and thinking, wow, they destroyed them. That's the dominance part. And the darkest version, you don't even want resolution. You want them humiliated. Not because you're evil, because humiliation feels like justice when you felt embarrassed. The lie we tell ourselves. The lie is, I'm just processing. Processing is about understanding. Fantasy arguing is about winning. A good test is this. If you keep making the other person dumber in your head so you can sound smarter, you're not processing. You're feeding your ego. If you keep making them cruel in your head so you can stay innocent, you're not processing. You're protecting your identity. If you keep replaying it until you feel powerful, you're self-medicating. Why we do it? Fantasy arguments usually come from one of these wounds. You weren't heard, so your mind creates a court where you finally get to speak. You felt disrespected, so your mind creates a scene where they finally pay. You felt embarrassed, so your mind gives you the perfect comeback to erase the shame. You feel unsafe, so you rehearse the next attack like a survival drill. This is the brain trying to protect you, but protection can become obsession. The hidden payoff, the part people don't admit, it can feel good. That's why it's addictive. In your head, you get control, revenge, without risk, superiority, without confrontation, validation, without vulnerability. You get to punish them in your imagination and still look like the good person in real life. And because it's private, it feels harmless, but it isn't. The cost. Mental revenge loops poison you from the inside. They keep your nervous system in fight mode. They steal your focus. They make you harsher, more suspicious, less open, and they change how you treat people. Because when you've been arguing with someone for 3 days in your head, you show up colder, sharper, defensive, ready to strike, even if they did nothing today. You're not reacting to the present, you're reacting to the film you've been replaying. The clean version, still honest, but freeing. You don't stop these loops by pretending you're above them. You stop them by naming what you're actually trying to get. Ask, what am I trying to restore? Is it respect, safety, dignity, control, being seen? Then do the adult thing your mind is avoiding. Say the real sentence out loud to the real person, or accept that you can't and set a boundary. Try, I felt dismissed in that conversation. I need to be spoken to with respect. I'm still upset and I want to resolve it. If we can't talk about this, I need distance. That's terrifying. That's why people loop instead. Because looping feels powerful. Honesty feels risky. One brutal question to end on. When you rehearse the win, what pain are you trying to erase? And if you got the perfect comeback, would you finally feel safe? Or would you... Different personality patterns loop differently. Some rehearse dominance, some rehearse victimhood, some rehearse moral superiority, some rehearse escape. That's what personalitypeak.com is built to uncover the pattern behind your private battles, the wars you keep fighting in your head because you're scared to say the real thing out loud. Stay true. Look in the mirror. The only person you cannot lie to looks back. Until next time.